Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another live video. Today we're going to be diving into the general collective messages, collective love messages, and then personal card pulls for anyone who joins me live. Get the chat open. All right, so I'm just going to get my cards set up while we wait for people to come in. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, those links are in the description. Get all these cards set up. I actually went pretty minimal today. Only 5 decks. It's an accomplishment for me. Hello, Josos. All right. Almost got them all out here. We're going to start. We are going to start with the general collective messages. I can get these out. All right. Beautiful. Alrighty. If you are jumping on live, go ahead and leave a comment to say hello. Let me know that you're here. We're going to get started in just a second after this sip. Okay. Ow, that's hot. All right. So, like I said before, we're going to start with the general collective messages. So let's get into that first. All right. All right, let's see what we need to know right now. Definitely energies of moving forward, leaving the past behind you. There's nothing there for you anymore. Who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up in the world? Scoot things over. All right. So we have show the world the real you with the full moon in Aquarius energy coming out first. Now is your time to shine. How do you want to bring your light forward? This is really about who you, like I said before, who you want to show up as. And we have refinement clarifying that full moon in Aquarius energy. So that refinement to me is kind of like, what are you holding on to? Your old stories, the person that you thought you were supposed to be, or who you told yourself that you were. And I think a lot of times we like to cling on to those shreds of identity that we have formed at some point in the past. For some people, those are things that you tell yourself that you like. It's hobbies that you told yourself that you really enjoy, that maybe you really enjoyed 10 years ago, but you start to do them, like you're still doing them now, and you're like, it's pretty lackluster. It's maybe for some of you, it's people in your life that you used to really enjoy spending time with, used to have a really close bond with, and that's just not really the case anymore, but you're still holding on to these things that you once really identified with, these things that you use to form your sense of identity. And it's like this energy is asking you to let go of those things, or at least identify them and decide if you want to let go of them. Because the real you is hiding underneath those layers of perceived identity. I hope that's making sense. So, refining down to the core of who you are to get clear on how you want to show up, how you want to present. And this isn't curating some kind of mask that you want to wear. This is the real you. And I mean, you have the choice of, do you want to keep going as you have been, or maybe just let go of some things, but you don't want to let go of everything just yet. You have that choice of, do you want to be your fullest, most authentic, realist you, or do you want to hold on to some of those layers of perceived identity? You have a choice. But the universe is kind of calling you to build a new foundation within yourself, to show up more authentically and to be yourself, and to discover what that means for you, who that person is. And I think some of you are, whether consciously or subconsciously, really at this time getting down to the core of who it is that you are and how you want to show up in your life and in the world. Hello, Maeve. Okay, so we have nothing will come of this situation with the void of course moon, and fertility, clarifying that. So two kind of opposite energies. One of them is stop in your tracks, this isn't going anywhere, and the other one is creating new life. So there may be something that you have been putting your energy into that really is not serving you anymore. You're not passionate about it. It doesn't make you feel the tingles that you used to when you would do it. This could be a hobby, it could be a career choice for some of you, or some aspect of those bigger things. I just keep hearing like niching down your life. So in all areas of your life, just niching down to what, like, bare bones authenticity. What's your foundation in these things? It's the soil that you're planting your seeds in. So I think some of you have maybe felt disconnected from the reason why you do things, or kind of forgotten what got you started in the first place. Where there's definitely an energy of the spark fizzled out, missing some of that passion. Hello, Katie. Happy Wednesday. So we're kind of bringing things back to life. And I do feel like nothing will come of this situation is kind of asking you to stop, take a look around, see what you got going on, and decide if you love it. Decide if it needs to be a part of your life. And we're not holding on to things that are just kind of there for show, or have been there for so long that you're like, I might as well just keep it around even longer. Like, we're letting go of all of that kind of stuff. And I think this void of course moon with the fertility is also talking about definitely cutting something out. So for some of you, it's just reevaluating and assessing and reprioritizing. So there's some kind of shifting things around and just pulling out the weeds a little bit. And for some of you, this is a complete and total shift. So stopping, looking at what's going on around you in your life, and there's some kind of sore thumb sticking out that you're like been ignoring or didn't quite see it for what it was until now, and it is something that needs to be completely eradicated, taken out of your life, and plant something fresh in its place. So this is a complete change of course for some of you, and for some of you it is just pulling out the weeds of the different areas of your life. All right. Hopefully that's making sense. Okay, so the overall energy we have here is don't let your past hold you back. Perfect. And abundance. The number 5 coming out there. So, yeah, I love this message here. Because we are talking about how you want to show up in the world, showing the world the real you, the core of who you are, and then pulling out the weeds of the different areas of your life to reveal more of that joy and that fulfillment that you've been seeking. And just really, I feel like I've been saying this for a while now, but it's just a really no bullshit kind of energy. If it does not lead you to who you want to be and bring you the things in life that you so deeply desire, then it serves no purpose. So don't let your past hold you back with abundance. Your abundance is in the future. Your prosperity is in the future. And when you choose to allow things to stay in the past, and you're choosing to let go of the things that you don't need in the present or in the future, then you are saying to yourself and to the universe, I'm ready for new things. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for abundance. Because what used to your old version of abundance is not your current or future version of abundance. That definition is changing for you, and how abundance shows up in your life is also changing. Okay, so I'm hearing like abundance is being promised to you, and the universe is like, we just need you to let go of the past. We just need you to be willing to say, I don't need this anymore. I'm moving forward. Like, you just have to be on that same wavelength with the universe, because they're like, we want to bring you in all of this abundance. We just want to make sure that you're ready for it and that you've made space for it, and that you're going to be, I kind of see like jumping in the river and letting the current tank you. All right. Bonjour, Jonah. Thank you, Maeve. I'm glad you're getting something from the advice. Let's see. All right. So next, I love this kind of sequence as well. Hang on. Get all the cards out so I can put this down. Tea break. Okay, so next row, the time for healing. There is things are changing and things are shifting, whether you have asked them to or not. But I think for most of the people that this collective is tapping into, you've asked for these changes and you've asked for these shifts, and now it's time for you to let go of these things and make space for the new. And in between the letting go and the welcoming in the new is that time for healing. It's the time for solitude and reflection and processing. So there's a softness to all of this energy, though I think in letting go of some of those things from the past and cutting things out, it feels a little bit harsh sometimes. It might feel harsh inside you to be like, I don't need this anymore, even though it served you so well up until this point. So there's kind of like a masculine energy in that, pulling out the weeds, cutting down the vines. And then there's a softness, more of a yin energy moving into this time of healing. We have agreement clarifying that. Yeah, so there's 2 6s, a 5, an 11, and a 10 in here. So the agreement, and I love the Libra energy on this card as well, the balance. It's that balance of saying goodbye to the old and saying, yes, let's move forward. Those two things, you may feel like you're kind of balancing them at the same time for a minute in this healing process. So it's acceptance of what has been and what's to come. I think a lot of times when we are moving forward into new phases of our lives, we don't think about how we're going to have to find acceptance in that new life and finding acceptance of your future. Because sometimes things come in and it's really jarring and it kind of shakes you. But it's like, I've been wanting this, but I haven't accepted it yet. I haven't settled into that energy yet. I don't know why some of these messages are feeling a little abstract, so I hope they're resonating. And then we have your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. My God, if I don't drop it. There we go. Finger dexterity. So your hard work is paying off. Clarified by strength. Your determination, your perseverance, your willingness to keep moving forward and doing what it takes to get where you want to be and to be who you want to be. Staying true to yourself takes a lot of strength. It's really easy to fall back into who you used to be, those comfort zones. With the self node coming out is the overall energy. Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let those past versions of you pull you back to who you used to be. Your strength is admirable. And there's Earth coming out all over. I think that's both Capricorn, or it's Capricorn and Virgo. But your strength is your superpower, and it's that soft strength. It's not the tough, grin and bear it kind of strength. It's your resilience. It's your ability to stay strong in who you are and the path that you've chosen and doing what it takes to stay the course. And there's a lot of, the universe is like, thank you for holding up your end of the bargain. We needed you to do your part so that we could continue bringing in these manifestations for you. So it's like, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. And things are absolutely working in your favor. And it's going to continue to do so. So you're definitely being nudged. I think at the beginning we kind of talked about how you have a choice. You can stay with where you're at and what you've always been doing, or you can start to use that energy of refinement to peel back the layers and find yourself at your core and operate from that place of the real you, letting go of those old things that you used to identify with or as. Okay, so let's get into the advice. All right. Heart of devotion. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. Ooh, yeah, dedication. That's the one. Look at all that soft pink energy, pink and yellow. We're talking about moving into that kind of yin healing space. Because it's healing, but it's also vibrant and uplifting because we have that balance between letting go of the past and welcoming in the future. There we go. I feel like it makes you really happy. It fills your heart with joy to be so dedicated to yourself and dedicated to this past and letting go of it, and then dedicated to who you're becoming in the future. Like, yeah, the fertility is the fertility message is really connected to this. So it's like, putting yourself in that past space and in that past energy to decide whether or not it's serving you and if you want to hold on to it going forward or not. Because there might, it's taking the blessings from the past as well. So letting go of what's not serving you and holding on to those blessings and using those kind of as a basis or a foundation for the seeds that you are planting. And gardens take commitment and dedication. You have to have nutrient dense soil, and you have to plant the seeds, and you have to water it every day. And this takes effort. This is every single day you are putting in energy and effort into this thing, into who you are becoming. Okay, that was interesting. We got them both. All right. Transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. Absolutely. That's taking those blessings and honoring yourself. So there's no, it's like having no hard feelings for your past because it's got you to where you are and it's moving you forward to where you want to be. Transcending those obstacles, and it's given you this strength. Your past has helped you become stronger. All right, and then we have manifestation vortex. Focus your energy with unwavering faith to manifest the outcome you require. Not desire, require. Yep. This is what's coming up soon. Near future energy right here. This manifestation vortex. So you've been putting your energy in. I feel like that's what it like. You've been putting your energy into these things, past, present, and then the future. This manifestation vortex is bringing those things into your reality. So I feel like this is kind of saying you've focused your energy, you've had faith, you've had strength, you've been doing what it takes. The universe is saying thank you for playing your part in this, and here's your manifestation. Here are the fruits of your labor. Here's what you've been asking for. And the universe is like, we've been so ready to give this to you. We just needed all the things to fall into place on your end. And for that beautiful timing and alignment to fall into place. But here it is. It's coming in for you. I feel like since the beginning of last year, we've been talking about manifestations coming in. And I trust and I hope that you've been seeing progress on that, because I feel like they've been sprinkling in, and here's the really big ones that are coming in now. Here's kind of that really big chunk of manifestation that's dropping into your reality. All right, so that's what we've got for the general collective messages here today. I'm going to clear this up, and we're going to get into the collective love messages. All right. Why did I think oh. There we go. So why did I think I had more decks? Because I usually have like 7 out on the table, and I only have 5 today. It's wild. Okay. Where did that go? I have no idea. I don't see it. There was a 3rd card, right? All right. We'll just keep going. All right. Okay, so these messages can resonate for you whether you are in a relationship or not. These can be related to romantic relationship or not. Just take it how it resonates. Okay. Whew. Guess we're taking both of those. All right, starting off here. Here's the image. This was on the top of the deck the whole time I was shuffling, and I was just kind of watching it. All right, it is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is time to give to yourself. All right, so self-love energy coming through here. If you've been trying to manifest love or focused a lot of energy on a partner or a person, it's kind of like things are balancing out a little bit here. So your energy is, you're taking some of your energy back for yourself to be like, all right, there's a lot going on in this sphere. What do I need to address? What needs my attention? So we have the angel of past issues here, number 23 or the number 5. So, more of that energy of letting go of the past, or just assessing the past issues that are coming up. What's arising and how do you need to address it to set it free? I love the imagery in this card of like just pictures flying through the sky. So it's kind of like just set it free, send it to the wind. Some of you is like burn it down. But taking time for yourself to do what you got to do, feel what you got to feel, process what you got to process, put some energy into yourself. Healing. And then we have, I shouldn't have laid these out like this. I overlapped them too much. Okay. Sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Okay, so it's like this momentary little pause, this brief suspension of the trajectory that you were in, and then like doing what you gotta do over there, figuring stuff out, and then coming back into the sacred union. And I think, part of honoring a union is honoring yourself and taking that time that you need for yourself and tying up loose ends, processing, healing. So the angel of imagination is clarifying that there. So honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. So I feel like that is also like honoring and treasuring your relationship with yourself. And you can simultaneously do that and honor this union that you have as well. Honor the relationship you have with this person. So I feel like there's kind of like a daydreaming energy here of kind of imagining the ways in which you want to show up for yourself and this person. And they might be the same thing. Like the way that you show up for yourself is the way that you can show up for them. But there's a lot of dreaming about this energy in this union. And there's a lot of maybe like daydreaming, but also actually dreaming at night because the moon and the stars are out here. And there's, I feel like there's no separation between this connection and the rest of your life, like the other areas of your life. Like they just kind of cohesively blend together. And maybe some of you are like imagining how things are going to play out between you and this person in those different areas of life. Interesting. Okay, so then I'm going to move on to the overall energy here. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Pretty colors. All right. And then the angel of balance, absolutely the number 2. I love that it's coming out to clarify this because, I mean, this overall energy here is balance. So letting there be closeness, but also allowing space. Finding that beautiful balance of being 2 individuals while also being a union. So there might be it feels like kind of this healthy balance of like not thinking about each other all the time, but holding space in your heart for each other. And for some of you, this is like someone that you haven't met yet. This is the manifesting a new relationship type of energy, to where it's like, I'm not going to hyperfixate on this, but I know in my heart that there is space for another person. There's space for this sacred union. But if you do have someone, then this is honoring your individuality while also making space for this union to come together. Because I feel like it's really intense when it's like when the waves roll in on the sand, and it's like kind of intense, a little bit dramatic, and the sand meets the sea, and then you can pull apart and still honor each other, make space for each other, and know that you're going to come back together, and it's going to be this really passionate, intense connection, and then you can come back and do your own things. And then, yeah, it's a beautiful balance, a nice give and take. All right. And then we have criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Clarified by Angel of Belief. Okay, so maybe some limiting beliefs coming up here, or you're like, okay, I'm getting some overlap to like friend or family or coworker relationships here as well. And someone doesn't do things the way that you would do them, or someone doesn't do things the way that you wish that they were done. Something like that kind of energy, into where you're just kind of like, ugh, gently, mildly criticizing someone else for the way that they go about things. And then realizing that it's almost a reflection of your own limiting beliefs. So there's like a little bit of frustration with this other person. And then you're like, oh, it's because I have something coming up within myself that I need to work through. And I feel like that is even more of that energy of balance as well, and taking care of yourself so that you can nurture this relationship and show up fully and wholly. All right. And lastly, oh my gosh, I can't hold on to these cards. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. One of my favorite cards in this deck. All right, so clarifying that, we have the Angel of Learning. So this is learning more about yourself, learning more about each other in this process. So for some of you, this may be the first time or one of the first times that you've had to pull back and be like, I need to be with myself for a minute. And it's a new experience for both of you. So you're learning something about yourself in that process, and the other person is learning something about you and themselves. Like there's just a lot of learning happening here. And we have Angel of the Night Sky. I'm hearing like oceans between us, but never apart. So even if there's physical distance or emotional distance between you, Your hearts are always united. You're never actually without each other. And so I feel like you don't long for each other because you don't feel like that other person has cut some kind of ties with you, you know? You don't feel like you have to long for them because they feel out of reach or distant or disconnected. So you feel in your heart that you're always connected to this person and that you're never alone, even if you are taking some time for yourself. And this is, yeah, okay. Because when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And the angel of learning coming out is like, you're just learning so much. You're expanding your view of life and love and yourself. And this is expansion energy. So this is like, it doesn't even feel like it's a bumpy ride or there's turbulence here. It's just a process that you're moving through. Yeah. It feels really good, even if you are taking a step back to do some healing. Like there's no harsh emotions attached to that. It's being very well received and it's being honored. So not only can you honor yourself and this union, but this other person can honor themselves and this union and your needs as well. I like that. Tony, hello. All right. So I'm going to pull the advice cards here for the collective love messages. And then while I'm doing that, if you would like me to pull a couple cards for you personally, you do have to be here live joining, obviously. But go ahead and drop a heart emoji in the comments if you would like me to pull a couple cards for you. All right. It's just all so perfect. All right. Starting with Pillar of Service. Serve with a gracious heart and know that God is serving you. So this is, okay. In the image, we have the dove, and then there's this pink rose. The pink rose makes me think of motherly, nurturing energy. So this is taking care of yourself. This is giving back to yourself and kind of trusting that things are still going to work out for you in the process. You can take a beat, you can take a minute, you can take the space that you need and know that this connection, this relationship isn't also going to come to a crashing halt. You can trust that you can take a step back and things are just going to keep moving forward at the same time. Because the universe is like, we believe in this connection, we believe in you, and like nothing's wrong here. You just have to take a step back and focus on yourself for a minute. And then but you can also watch as the relationship still grows and flourishes. Ooh, I love that. Interesting. Okay. Okay. More imagery here. So the clothing here it's like galaxy pattern, very cosmic. So I feel like this is a very close cosmic connection. These butterflies, transformation. I love it. Okay. The heart of devotion coming out again. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. Yep. And there's more butterfly here as well. So this is, for some of you, this is like moving towards a higher level of commitment or focusing on being your best self so that your higher level of commitment can be the best that it can be. This is not wanting to mess around. You want to do things the right way. You want to make sure that you show up as your best self. so that things can continue to flow and be natural and harmonious. So, and this is, filling your cup before you fill others. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication to yourself and to this union, to this person. Something about Valentine's Day coming out, like it's something significant happening around Valentine's Day or just February in general. You may come out of this kind of hibernation period around Valentine's Day and show up to make the offer of a higher level commitment, taking things to the next level. For some of you, that might be a proposal around Valentine's Day, but things just kind of leveling up around that time. Okay. Because there's definitely like a softness around it. There's a quiet eagerness, but like the way that you show up or the way that this person shows up is very soft, very natural, very flowing, and it's just right. It's just, this whole energy just feels like smooth sailing. All right. And we have learning coming out again at the end of the spread. Learning experience. Take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. Yeah. And there's a lot of sun energy, is very golden, bright, knowledge-based. And yeah, this is you, it's almost like you or the other person getting all the information that they need before they take that next step forward, before they further this commitment. They need to, it's like needing to know everything about yourself before you can really step forward and say wholeheartedly, yes, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, this is where I'm going. Okay. That feels complete. So that is the end of love messages. Where's everybody at today? Tony wants cards pulled. It's usually just like list. Oh well. Everyone who needs to be here is here right now. So if you want me to pull some cards for you, leave a heart emoji in the comments. If not, then just stick around for Tony's reading, I guess. All right. If you don't follow me on Facebook, that link is in the description. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, that link is in the description. And stay tuned for more Wednesday live readings, personal inquiries or personal readings or private sessions. Find me through Facebook. All right, Tony and Maeve, let's get into it. All right, Tony. I'm so glad that you're here too, Tony. We miss you here in Omaha. All right. So we have adjustments are required. Adjustments are required and communication. So perhaps adjustments are required in your communication, the way that you're communicating with someone else. So this card of communication makes me think of the interaction between two people. I'm hearing you may be two peas in a pod, but something has spilled. Something has spilled out. So maybe there's like some truths being revealed, or just understanding the depths of another person. I'm hearing like, ooh, okay, I don't like that. So you may have discovered a truth about someone, or someone's discovered a truth about you, and not too fond of it. It's not an inherently bad thing. It's a perceived flaw, is what I'm hearing. So something about the perception of this truth is like, I'm going to need a minute to process this. So the way that you show up in communication with this person is going to have to shift. And it's kind of like you haven't had this, or maybe not very often, had this type of conflict or stickiness in this relationship. So learning how to navigate this process and this new way of communicating, showing up and honoring the other person's experience, but you're also feeling a certain type of way about this whole thing. And so you're just kind of trying to get through the ick. Maybe someone gave you the ick. And you're learning how to deal with that and overcome that, because I don't believe that once you see the ick, you can't see past it again, right? So it's just a sticky situation, but it feels like a building block. It feels like an opportunity for growth and prosperity, you know, as long as you guys can show up and communicate authentically with each other. Oh, good. I'm glad it's spot on, because I was like, this is such a specific message. All right. So as long as you can show up and, you know, just see through those perceived negativity surrounding this thing and finding ways within yourself to overcome this and to get yourself back to your heart space and get back to what really matters. No, Rabbit, you have not missed. I put you on the list. All right. Well, Tony, those are your messages. I'm glad those resonated for you. I hope it was helpful. Sticky communication can be overcome. Okay. Maeve is next. All right. Maeve, have you been working through your fears? Have you been facing them? What are your fears? Do you know what you're afraid of? I was saying, do you know what you're afraid of? And then success wanted to pop out. So maybe you're afraid of success. We have leadership on the bottom of the deck too, Maeve. With the broccoli. Leadership broccoli. I like so the leadership has air energy coming out on it. And it has Gemini and Libra. So I think finding balance in your leadership energy and how you show up there. Okay, so have you been working through your fears? Have you faced your fears? Do you know what your fears are? And why are they your fears? And do you want to acknowledge them? Do you want to overcome them? Do you want to face them so you can move past them and see what's on the other side? Do you want to make your way to the light? Ooh. Okay. Self-love and acceptance blocks, fears. The fear of loving yourself is like a really weird concept, I think, to grasp, but it's something I think we've all experienced. And it's not like saying that you don't love yourself, right? But there's certain aspects of yourself that you're afraid to love, maybe because if you say, I love and accept this, that you then can't transform it. But acceptance is the first step to change. So you have to say, I love it, I accept it as it is, and I'm ready to transform. All right, because we have affection coming out here as well. Number 12 for the number 3. A little kitty looking at itself in the mirror. How cute is that? Yeah, Taurus energy here, Scorpio energy, and then you had the Libra, Gemini energy as well. So this could be, you know, how you view yourself physically, how you speak to yourself about the way that you look, about your body, about the changes that you want to make in your life. How are you talking to yourself in that process? Because there's certain things that you say to yourself that are not going to move you forward, and you know this. And that air is also that heart energy, and there's a lot of green coming out here, so your heart space, honoring your heart space, being soft with yourself, and it's being verbally and mentally and emotionally soft with yourself, not just in the way that you treat yourself in terms of external self-care, but how are you caring for yourself in here and here. It's just going inward and seeing what needs to shift in your self-talk and the way that you feel about yourself. Maybe I love this practice and it's so uncomfortable, but just staring at yourself in the mirror and just like noticing yourself. If you can't bring yourself to the appreciation yet, just noticing neutrality towards yourself. And then like I love the practice of looking in the mirror and saying I love you to yourself. Again, it's kind of uncomfortable and cheesy and weird, but it's very effective and very impactful. And like having that kind of ooey gooey, wholesome, loving relationship with yourself. Okay, Maeve, those are your messages. Thank you for being here. All right. Moving on to the silly rabbit. Let's see what we've got for you. Why is this not letting go? All right. All right. What do you need to release? What do you need to release? We're coming up on the full moon, so good time to release there. So if you missed the general collective messages, those might resonate with you because this is kind of that same energy. So what do you need to release and transition? Yes, Melissa, I can pull a card for you next. So what do you need to release in order to transition into the next phase of your life? What are you trying to manifest that isn't really coming in for you? What do you need to let go to make space for that? Because I feel like growth is something that you desire and that you've been looking forward to. And maybe it's kind of been happening in small ways and then just kind of stopping and hitting a plateau and then a little bit of progress and then plateau. And you're like, what, where, why? Why isn't this flowing? You want more of a fluid transition. And there's things that you have to let go of in order for that to be more possible for you. So you can be letting go of limitations of the mind, letting go of outdated views of the world and yourself, letting go of physical objects that don't serve a purpose anymore. Just being very mindful of the way that things present within yourself. How do things make you feel? How does your body react to certain situations, certain people, certain things? What do you need to let go of? It's going to help you tell you. Your intuition is going to help you identify the things that you need to release. so that you can move forward into this smooth transition. And then I feel like you're going to start letting go of certain things. And you'll be like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm in this flow now. And things are just sort of coasting and things are happening for you. Allowing your mindset to shift as you see fit as well. Your views have to change in order for things to change around you. Okay, those are your messages there, Silly Rabbit. I hope those were helpful and they resonated for you. Okay. Melissa, let's see what you need to know. Don't want to break things. All right. Melissa, you have the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Focus. There we go. Your dreams need a practical plan along with leadership. Number 6. So we've got Taurus, Gemini, and Libra energy here. Maybe you have this goal or dream of having some sort of leadership position. So if that's, it could be entrepreneurship or taking charge of something work-wise, but just being in this leadership position where people look up to you, they can idolize you, they can come to you if they need assistance. You want to be a grounding force and a guiding light for others. So it feels like this is still kind of in those dream stages of like, this is something that you're working to manifest right now. And it's still in those beginning stages. You're kind of cultivating the idea of it and imagination. And so it's time to make a plan of how you can set those things into motion. How can we make this possible? It's time for you to step into this leadership position. So what do you need to do to make that a physical, tangible experience that you have? And there's also that trusting who you need to become in that process, trusting that you can be the person that you have to be to show up for others and to be a leader. And I feel like you want to be a just leader. You want things to be very balanced and fair. I think you've seen some injustice in some leadership positions in the past, and you don't want to be that person. You want to show up, like I said, as a grounding force, but as a guiding light. You want to be an authority, but also a friend. And so you're kind of figuring out how to balance those things. I think you've got it. I think you've got it, though. You just need to make things happen in the physical world. You need to make the plan and take the steps that you need to take to turn this into your reality. I think you've pretty much become the person that you need to be. You just have to make things happen. And how can you make things happen? Get clear on what it is exactly that you want to be stepping into. We have to have that balance between leaving some things up to the universe to help co-create with us, and then taking inspired action in your life. So we're not forcing anything or saying, I have to do this and it's supposed to look this way. You're saying, what feels authentic, what feels right, what can I do each day to move myself towards this bigger goal? And follow your inspiration, follow your inner guidance to lead you in that direction. So there is that balance between practicality and trusting and knowing. But it does feel like something that's going to come in for you because you're trusting and believing that it's possible. Don't hold on to expectations of how things are going to go. And then things may even turn out better than you expected them to. All right. So those are your messages, Melissa. I hope those resonated for you and you found them helpful. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here today, showing your support and enjoying these messages in the process. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, invite your friends, share this video with people who you think would resonate with these messages, and I will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and